Hello Taurus, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Taurus for the middle of November. Now do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Taurus, let's go ahead and get a shuffle in here. Do hope you're doing well. Hope things are going good for you. Do make sure that you are subscribed to the channel for future updates from me. And as always, all of the decks that I use in my readings on the channel are linked below the video if you'd like to pick them up for yourself. All right, let me go ahead and get all the cards out here. Make sure we're all set up and in view, and then we'll get right into it for you. All right. Cool. And I think that looks just about good enough to me for right now. Energy on the bottom. You have the Four of Cups. So some of you here might be a little bit discontent with your situation. Some of you are spending a little bit of time here dwelling on the past or thinking about something from the past, potentially. We do have the Six of Cups as well here on the board. The thing about the Four of Cups, the Six of Cups refers to the past. I'll talk about that more as we go along. The thing about this Four of Cups, this person's sitting under the tree. They're kind of not taking action. You can say that they are like potentially like meditating, or they're gaining enlightenment, or they're pondering their situation, they're pondering the universe. All important things, right? You know, we need times to reflect. You could say that this person's reflecting. It's important to have time for reflection, for sure, in life. However, if you notice here, there is this opportunity that is available to them. And in their state of reflection, it's possible that they're missing out on this. And so when you get the Four of Cups, it says, do not allow yourself to miss out on an opportunity that might be right in front of you. Be careful of missing out on opportunities when you get the Four of Cups. It can say that maybe some of you are a little bit bored or apathetic in your situation. You know, I just heard the term leaving home. The truth is that many people will just stay where they were born, you know? And I almost get something like, maybe you've moved out of where you were born, but it's possible that maybe some of you have stayed at the same place for a long time. You've worked at the same company for a long time. Maybe when you sort of came of age, like maybe you took a job at like 25 or something like this, or even earlier than that, and you're, I don't know, maybe you just hit your 40s and you're still there, you know, you're still there, or something like that. It's just an example, right? Like there's something that is familiar to you here that's maybe becoming a little bit stale, okay? Whatever, I just gave a random example. You can apply that to other things. Taurus, in the current situation, you have the Eight of Pentacles, which is a very good card. So despite the maybe boredom that you see here, I do think that, as remember, going back here to this idea of an opportunity being made available to you, I do think that your talents, your skills, your gifts, abilities are providing you with an opportunity. Okay, the Eight of Pentacles is a major card of talent in the tarot. It's the biggest card indicating a talent in the tarot. And, you know, this says that you will always be well provided for when you have the Eight of Pentacles, and it's because you have a foundation of skills that make you desirable in the workplace or in other situations. The Eight of Pentacles can also talk about dedication, dedicating yourself to a task, to an organization, to something in your life. In the problem position, you do have the Knight of Cups. Perhaps some of you are feeling like your relationships right now are a little bit stale in life as well with the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups can talk about like a romantic event. So this could mean that you find out that the person you liked actually likes you too, right? Or like maybe you have important conversation with your significant other if you're married or something like this, or maybe it's the act of getting married, right? It signifies an important, potentially romantic event or situation in your life. It's in the problem position though. I should also say that the Knight of Cups is somebody who's a bit of a dreamer, which again, very good to be a dreamer, but this is not exactly synonymous with taking action. Okay, and so at the beginning here, we have this Four of Cups, we have the Knight of Cups here in the problem position. Those cards are not really cards of action or taking action or anything like that, right, when you get them in the tarot. And so it's just something to consider here as, you know, you look at this reading, and let's just go ahead and get some additional details. Now, in the past, you have the Judgment card. So this Judgment card does represent, it's a very powerful card. I always like to call it the final boss in the tarot because it's like the last thing that you need to kind of jump over in order to complete the task of the world. Okay, this is 20, the world is 21, the world is the last card in the Major Arcana. Having said that, with the Judgment energy, the way that the Judgment card asks you to get to the final stage of this game that we call life is by looking within and by doing some type of self-evaluation. Okay, this is more of a logic situation, okay? Logically looking at the actions that you've taken up to this point in your journey, because you've been on a long journey. If you reach the Judgment card, you've been on a long journey up to this point. What are the actions that you've taken along your journey? And look at them in a logical, rational, objective way. Is there something that you need to do to change? Or is there something that you need to change in order to complete the cycle, in order to complete the world, right? To complete your world, so to speak. And it is synonymous because of that with like spiritual awakenings, you know, because even though I was saying that this is more the logical side of life, logically looking at your decisions and logically evaluating your choices, in going through that process, you can go through spiritual awakenings, because that's a very real decision to decide to look at yourself objectively, and it can be a very vulnerable decision. And so the Judgment card is interesting because there's like a mix of spirituality and logic in the Judgment card energy. In the future, you have the Six of Cups, which is potentially about something from the past, okay? This is something that's familiar to you. The Six of Cups is something that's familiar to you. It jumped out at me right away when I put the card on the table, and especially when now that I connected that with the Four of Cups, right? Those two cards here really kind of stuck out to me in this reading. The Six of Cups and the Four of Cups. And, you know, I feel like for some of you here, there's something that's got to change, and it's something that has become too familiar. Okay, it's become too familiar to you at this time, and yeah, that's kind of what I feel. I do think that for some of you, this could be about a workplace situation that you've been in for some time. For some of you, this might be about your relationship. It'll depend on where you find yourself in this journey, but yeah, that's something that's coming forward. Now, in your thoughts, this is what you're aware of or what you can see. You have the Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles, you know, this is about potentially holding on to something here. You can see that this person's holding on to their pentacles just a little bit too tightly. And, you know, this can say that perhaps some of you need to recognize that in letting go, we open ourselves up to bigger, better, and brighter opportunities. This person does need to let go, okay? It's good that they have accumulated money. This does suggest that they've saved, they've budgeted, they've planned out their financial situation. And that's a very good thing, but at the same time, they are so afraid, they are so consumed by their financial situation that they do need to start letting go a little bit. And so that's just something to consider here. I do think that some of you recognize that there's a letting go that needs to happen here in what has become familiar with this Six of Cups. Now, in your subconscious, this is what you can see, this is what you cannot see. This is what is hidden. You have the Five of Swords, okay? So what you cannot see is that in letting go, you do lose something, but what you cannot see is that you get stronger as a result of whatever it is that you need to let go of. You can see here that this person is down, but they're not out. The sun rays are coming out of this person. They're waving their flag in defeat, but in doing this, this is just one minor step back in their journey. Okay, this allows them to get stronger. This allows them to go further because now they know, just like the Judgment card, what they need to do to improve. And it is true, right? I mean, I'm not saying anything here that you don't already know, which is in life, the best lessons oftentimes come through loss. Okay, and it's like nobody's perfect. I'm not telling you that you should intentionally start losing, but you know what I'm saying. Like the best lessons in life many times come through losses or defeats or challenges. Now, in the staff, in the direction that you are headed, in your current influence, the way that you are influencing the situation, you do have the Hierophant. So, you know, this is either your career, in not just your career, okay? You might stay in the same career. Scratch that, rewind. Okay, rewind. This is more about your organization, okay? You might decide to stay in the same career, but the Hierophant can be about the organization that you're a part of, the place that you work. If it is not about the place that you work, this is about marriage, okay? This is about potentially some of you coming to sort of some understanding about your marriage. You know, I want to see what cards come forward here in the clarifications. I'm not saying everybody's going to be getting divorced here, but I'm saying like there might be some understanding that you're a little bit bored or unsettled in a marriage. Some of you feel like you've dedicated yourself to somebody here for some time, and it's like something doesn't feel right there. And again, can you resolve the conflict? Like you certainly can. It's just a matter of maybe being open to this other with this other person about that. But I think the same applies here to the place that you work, which is I think some of you have been at the same place for a while, and there are other opportunities out there. In the external influence, you have the Temperance card. Okay, so this Temperance card is kind of this idea of the Temperance card. There are a lot of things, and I'm just trying to connect to the right meaning for you for this reading, which this is about patience, balance, and you know, there's something here about your patience being up. Okay, your patience being up, because you have the Four of Cups with the Knight of Cups in the problem position and the Six of Cups here. I just feel like you've had patience, okay? And I almost feel like some of you are ready to, the other thing with the Temperance card is it's, not only is it Sagittarius energy, but it's a card of healing. And I almost feel like some of you want the healing to start now. Like you want to turn the healing faucet on. Like you want to turn the faucet on now, and you want the healing to start now. And I feel like some of you might be initiating that, or you have the ability to initiate it, but again, Four of Cups, Six of Cups, Knight of Cups in the problem position, that's passive energy, that's passivity here, and so that's one thing to consider. Now, in the hopes and fears, you have the Page of Pentacles. Okay, I think some of you need to understand that there are prospects out there, okay? But if you don't change something, or you don't change, if you're not actively, you know, looking to if you're not being active in seeking out these opportunities, they're not going to connect with you, right? But the point is, the Page of Pentacles represents prospects in life. The prospects are out there for you. You know, whether you're looking to change your job or something else, the prospects are out there. But this requires some action, and also maybe realizing that in that process, in that journey of connecting to new prospects, some of these won't work out, okay? Because there might be something here about perfection that some of you might resonate with. Some of you might have a perfectionism thing going on here, which I personally, I understand that. I'm with you on that. But you have in the problem position, in the outcome position, you have the Moon. So the Moon says that there's maybe something that is not exactly clear. I think some of you here need to get clear on either the organization that you're part of, like the workplace situation here with the Hierophant, or There's something connected to your relationships here that you're looking to get clear on at this time. Because in whatever scenario you find yourself in, if this reading is for you, it's becoming stale. It's becoming stale. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at these 3 clarifiers here. All right, so you have the Fool, the Eight of Swords, and the Ace of Pentacles. So I really like the clarifications here. The Fool and the Ace of Pentacles is, you know, the powerful new beginning showing up in the cards here. The Fool says that there is a new journey, and you know, it's a big one here. I was like, okay, wait, is the World on the board? No, but the Judgment card is here. The Fool is like, for me, the most powerful card because we track the journey of the Fool through the major arcana. The Fool starts off everything, which is why it's powerful, but you are the Fool, you are the hero. This is the hero of the tarot, and you are the hero. And so for you to get the Fool, it suggests that you're starting this new hero's journey that you're going to be going down. And again, I think it starts with you moving out of whatever's stuck here or stagnant or whatever's becoming stale in your life, and it's embracing something new. Eight of Swords, don't let the opinions of others hold you back. Okay, don't let the opinions of others change what your truth is. And the Ace of Pentacles is all about, you know, also a new beginning. It can indicate you maybe investing or making a purchase, making a sale. It can also just be like planting a seed. It could be seed energy as well. But it's a very good card, especially combined with the Fool here. Let's go ahead and take a look at these oracle cards. So you have Poverty, Thief, Sudden Wealth, and Despair. All right, so Poverty and Thief here. There is just simply something that's eating at your time, biting at your time is what I feel like saying. Or what I should say is, like, it seems like you have a lot of time to think, but it's like in that period of thinking or in that period of reflection, there's something that's sort of filling up your tank here. And I almost feel like some of you need to empty the tank. Some of you need to empty the tank. There's a situation that you have to deal with, sudden wealth and despair. Look, it's out there. The thing is that the opportunities and the prospects are out there, but right now you're in this situation here where your tank is full. You need to empty your tank so that you can see that there are other things out here with sudden wealth and the Page of Pentacles, right? But it's almost like that you got to create space in your container so that you can fill your container up with new prospects. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you, and I will see you in the next reading.